What is up, guys? It's the Sound Alchemist, and I'm here with
Gersh 1.
And today we're back to answer more questions from you guys, the viewers, in another For the Greater.
This is a video series where we answer the questions left by you, the viewer. If you have a question for us, comment down below. Put question in front of your question because we get to those questions first.
And I just realized how much plastic you've got in the freaking closet.
Oh, yeah. My, what is it called? My pile of shame is all the way to the top of the ceiling.
Yeah, literally. It's just a wall of boxes.
Yeah. This question comes from Aria816. Since the difference between Space Marines and Custodes is as wide as Space Marines and Guardsmen, what do normal Space Marines think of Custodes? Of custodians. Adeptus Custodes.
Yeah. The Custodes.
There you go.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, like, they just see them as another part of the Emperor's military force. They probably value their service and value their expertise on a given battlefield. Because you got to remember that most Space Marines do not care about the Imperial Guard. Like, if the Imperial Guard commander is like, we need to, like, get this strategic location, the Space Marines are like, yeah, we don't care what you have to say.
Yeah. Yeah, that's basically the whole gist of it. But it's funny because the reverse is not true. The Custodes do not care about the Space Marines. They view them like the Space Marines view the Astra Militarum, where it's like these guys are too autonomous. They shouldn't be left to their own devices. They need to be patrolled. And just the whole threat of them going rogue or chaos, like, they don't want to take that. So yeah, they don't like them at all. But then you look at the Astra Militarum, they're like, oh, the Space Marines are here. We don't have to die in this fight.
Yes. Yep.
So it's very funny how that works, but hey, that's the totem pole.
Yep. And it's cool because it does show that, like, the Imperial military force or the Imperial military, like, group is so different, and there's so many different things. Because then you throw in Tempestus Scions into it, Sisters of Battle, the Inquisition, Assassins. Yeah. It's crazy.
It does, yeah.
Good question, though.
Yeah, very spine-tingling.
Yeah, and remember that Adeptus Custodes have killed Space Marine chapters.
Oh, yeah, the something Drakes?
Yeah, something Drakes.
Kind of like
Crimson Drakes or something?
The Drake feud with the Custodes is kind of like Kanye and Drake currently.
Yep.
So, Donda. That's how you say it, right? Donda?
The game?
No, the musical experience that Kanye is providing.
Oh, yes. Oh, that Kanye. Okay, good.
I got one from Tommy Falcon. Do Chaos Forces use Geller fields when they warp travel? I mean, they would have to, right? Otherwise, they'd never be able to actually get anywhere if they're always stopping to add more tentacles, feathers, boils, and spiky bits.
Who?
The Chaos in general.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. Most of the time when a Chaos Force is traveling through the warp, they are doing so because they enslaved an Imperial ship. Mm-hmm. Or the rare situation where, like they get help from, I forget what the Chaos Space Marine Warband is, but, like, basically the ferrymen of Chaos Forces, and they have a huge fleet that allows, or that basically gets sold off to a Demon Prince or a Chaos Lord or something like that.
Yeah. And
then they ferry people.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bunch of slaves in there. It's torture. They don't want to be there, and they have to protect themselves with Geller fields and stuff like that.
Because not all Chaos is friendly towards all Chaos. There's, like, grudges between, like, Slaanesh and Khorne. So it's like, yeah, if you do go in there without a Geller field, you're still open to all the terrors of the warp.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Your god won't really protect you.
No.
Unless you're, like, super high up. But then you don't need any protection. Right. But wrap it up. Protection is key.
It is. This next question comes from the big one. Could I be a god since I have strong teeth, perky buns, and tell hilarious jokes?
Strong teeth. That's a major one.
Yeah. What god is like is like that? Sorry. Perky buns and hilarious jokes. Who's the funniest chaos god that we know? Probably Nurgle. But he doesn't have strong teeth. His teeth are rotting. Mm-hmm. Sometimes he doesn't even have teeth. Some depictions.
Yeah, they're like gummies.
Yeah. So I'm gonna say no. You cannot become a god.
Do people venerate you? Maybe you could become like a saint at best.
Yeah. You got to remember that most chaos gods too are it is an emotion that coalesces into a form. So if you could like somehow harness that whirlpool of emotion, what emotion would you want to like embody?
Crunchiness.
Crunchiness?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's an emotion, I guess.
Mm-hmm. How you feeling? Crunchy, my dude. I don't want to talk about it.
I think I would want to do anger, but not like wrath, like what's his name, Korn? More like the Hulk.
Huh. So emotional anger.
Yes. Spiritual anger. Next question.
This one is also by Tommy Falcon. Caw-caw! Falcons don't make that noise.
They go, ah!
Is there a particular chaos god that is more powerful and or dangerous than the others?
No.
Nah. We talked about this in the 2 or 3 for the Greater Walls before. Basically, chaos is a wheel. It's always spinning. There's always going to be somebody on top, somebody in the bottom. And no matter who's strong now, they're not going to keep that strength, that power for very long because the other guys will usurp them, and it just keeps on turning.
Yep. I guess you could argue that most chaos gods are verse, both top and bottom.
Ah. I learned a word today. Verse.
Sure.
Yeah, you got me.
Yeah. No, but there was something else about that too. Every single codex does say in the description of a certain chaos god that is the strongest chaos god. So just keep that in mind as you're reading along. I've seen it with Tzeentch, Khorne, and like the stories almost are written in a way where you're like, oh damn, they are strong. Like with Khorne, bringing down his sword and basically splitting a piece of the Immaterium in two. That's pretty like powerful. But then also like Tzeentch and how like he has a scheme where he's gonna win at the end, and you think like, yeah, obviously, right? Like he's the great schemer, the changer of ways. So just keep that in mind too while you're reading.
Yeah, but I feel like when you're reading the codices, it's always in the perspective of that faction. So of course, if it's like the Grey Knights and it says they bested the strongest chaos god Khorne, like yeah, it's made to make them look badass.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind too.
This next question comes from Tim Orange. Which came first, the egg or the emperor? I'm gonna go with the egg.
Yeah.
Always the egg.
Egg all day. This one's by Arya816. Since the difference between Space Marines and Custodes. That's the main one. Silly me.
This next question comes from Dragon Punch 903903. Do orcs sleep? Sometimes.
They fight in their sleep, right?
Yeah. They dream about fighting.
And they fight about dreaming.
Yeah. Yeah.
Solar Wrath. If the Tau are able to be freed from ethereal control through Commander Farsight's blade, would other Tau then have the possibility to also be freed through similar psychic stresses, like possession or being close to a big demon? I don't think so. Nothing has said that it's the blade itself that is freeing the Tau from whatever mind control or indoctrination that the ethereals are doing. And, I mean, they have fought against, like, Nurgle and demons and stuff like that. And it's not like they just snapped out of it. So.
Yeah.
And usually if you're that close to a demon or you're getting possessed, like, it's done.
Yeah. Next question comes from Corner Chris. Where would you start if you were the director of a 40K movie or a TV series? That is a really good question, and it's a question that I actually think about a lot just in my everyday life. I'm in the shower, I think about it. I'm at the gym, I think about it. I think for me, the most entertaining would be putting the setting in a feral planet that is actually a recruitment planet for the Space Marines. So the movie would start off with like... It's almost would be like a primitive post-apocalyptic environment of like these kids who are just trying to survive. Little do they know that they're going through the process of initiation to become neophytes of a Space Marine. And like at the very end of the movie is when like the chaplain would appear and you are chosen, after this boy probably went through like hell trying to like stay alive. So I think that would be kind of cool.
Yeah, that is pretty cool, but don't you think it's too much of a tease where it's like, if people know this is about like Space Marines and stuff like that, they want to see Space Marines, and they just get that little bit at the end.
Yeah, that nugget. Yeah,
nugget.
I think but that's specifically why I would want to do that. I think, like I want to watch a TV series or a movie about the universe, and showing Space Marines right off the bat almost instantly turns it into a hack and slash type of movie in my mind. Even when I think of like Astartes. Astartes is an amazing series. It's really cool. But there's really no story. Like it's like there is a story, but even that is a tease. Of like you don't really know what's happening towards the end of what was it, part 5?
Yeah.
And I think that's why it would be nice. I think for a person who doesn't know about the 40K universe, it would be nice for them to form an emotional attachment to this kid who's trying to like survives, become a Space Marine. Part 2, you introduce this child not as a child anymore, but as a Space Marine. So then you as a viewer who are new to the universe are like, I'm rooting for this Space Marine, not because he's a Space Marine, because all Space Marines are basically just Superman.
Yeah.
But I'm rooting for this kid or this Space Marine because I knew him as a kid who saw his, mom die, who saw his brothers get slain by like demons or like, had to defend against the Dark Eldar or something cool like that. I think that story, because I would do like a trilogy in my mind.
Who would you get to play that kid? Yeah.
What's that fat kid from the Deadpool movie?
Oh, you mean the star from Godzilla versus Kong, right?
Yes. He was scared of everything, right?
Yeah. That B storyline was so unnecessary.
Yeah. Well, and that is a good point of like, I am scared that if a Space Marine movie or a 40K movie gets created, the story is gonna be as shit as like Godzilla. Like, it's cool, especially like Godzilla and Kong, or Godzilla versus Kong and stuff like that. Like, it's a cool universe. I am not invested in the story of like the humans and the organization whatsoever.
You're there to see a giant lizard and a giant monkey fight.
Yeah. And that's what I'm saying about Astartes. I'm there to watch Space Marines kill traitors. Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I think it'd be very similar to yours, but mine would take place on Fenris, because you have the whole Viking atmosphere. You've already got the dangerous world that they live on, and then something happens to like the tribe that these people are from, and the survivors are going to the monastery to try and get help. But the trip to the monastery is filled with like trials and tribulations and ice trolls and kraken. And when they finally get to it, instead of the Space Marines saying, "Yeah, we'll help your tribe from this raid of like ice trolls," they said, "No, you guys are gonna fight last man to man, and that person's gonna become a sky warrior."
Yeah.
So then they're now gonna fight against each other after this whole journey they've been to become a Space Marine, so that they can go back and help their tribes.
That'd be badass.
And it's like the whole Viking aesthetic would be pretty cool too.
And it's popular.
Yeah, so I think that'll kind of get people too.
Like non-40K people.
Yeah, like, oh, Vikings, that's cool.
Yeah.
What about you guys? Throw us your pitch in the comments below.
This next question comes from Adeptus Custodes. Which Primarch has the biggest D? Vulcan?
Yeah, probably Vulcan.
Even though I don't think they had Ds.
No.
These nuts?
Got him.
No, but they probably do have nuts, because that's where P is stored. And Space Marines P.
Right, but not through their D, because they don't have one.
Right, through their balls.
Yeah, it's like a condensation type thing.
Yeah.
PB unit. Does Gersh shave his arms? He's smooth.
No, I don't. I have ashy elbows. I don't shave my arms. I do have a bunch of like blonde hairs. So that's probably why it looks like my arm is not as hairy. I was born blonde. Isn't that crazy? And then as you get older, you just become darker. That's how life works. The sun does that to you. Next question.
This one's by Don Krill. Can humans, Tau, and Eldar have children with each other's species? Can the humans in the Tau Empire have families with Tau citizens? Half Eldar human warriors? Tau Eldar cults?
Unfortunately, no. It used to be a thing, like, what was it, 3rd edition?
Yeah, you had super powerful psychers that were half human, half Eldar. And they were, like, legit in the Inquisition and integrated into, like, the Imperium.
There's even a librarian who was half Eldar.
What were they called? Sensei?
No, that's...
Star Children?
No, that's something different. That's like the children of the Emperor.
Right.
Yeah. These were just, like, hybrids. I don't even think they had, like, a specific name. But no, GW did away with that. Mm-hmm. There is no longer a way for Tau to mate with non-Tau.
Doesn't mean you can't try.
Right. Especially if there's organs for it. Next question comes from Tommy Falcon. This is a long one. Actually, I don't know if we've read this one, but okay, reading on the wiki, it said that Night Lords refuse to follow any of the Chaos Gods and look down on both Loyalists and Chaos Space Marines as chumps. So why are there always seen kicking it with Chaos Space Marines? Is it because they like skin suits or also enjoy putting sharp pointy bits onto their armor? It sounds like they're more in line with Renegade Marines or Fallen Angels than Chaos Marines. It kind of goes back to that whole concept that we were talking about a little bit earlier. All Chaos forces hate each other. Mm-hmm. And the Night Lords are the same. Like, they feel like they are better than, they are Chaos Undivided. But if Mortarion shows up and then he's like, you know what, we're going to invade all of Ultramar. You want to join? You can't pass that up.
Right.
It's like saying, you want Portillo's, a free Portillo's cake? Of course. Yes, chocolate cake all day. Is it going to go straight to my thighs? That's okay. I shave. But same situation with the Night Lords.
Right. And it's like, whenever you're a Chaos Space Marine, you just want to kill, maim, burn, murder, skin. So why stop?
Right. Then, next question.
This one's by Carrie Vogt. Does Trazian have any Necron Tier in his collection? Did his klepto ways start after he gave up his soul, or was he always a rarity collector?
I think he was always a rarity collector, but no, he did not keep any Necron Tier. All Necron Tier were transferred.
Right. That's why you don't see any Necron Tier nowadays. And not just that, but like this was like millions of years ago.
60 million years.
Yeah. And they had short-ish lifespans too, so it's not like a Necron Tier could survive till now, unless like stasis is at play or something like that.
Right. Yep.
But that's not to say we'll never see them, because like the way the warp works with like time travel and all this stuff.
Yeah. This question comes from Nikoe. Who is the oldest named Space Marine that's still alive?
Probably Dante.
Yeah. I don't know if he's the oldest though, because I thought that record was taken by some Crimson Fist dude who's dead already. But like he lived for a really long time. Because Dante, he wasn't around during the Horus Heresy, was he?
I thought he was.
Oh damn!
I'd have to recheck that, but I think Dante is. Or I guess if you count Dreadnoughts, what's Lehman Russ's boy?
Oh, Bjorn the Fellhand.
There you go.
Yeah. So I guess that guy.
Mm-hmm. And since you said Space Marine, that excludes the Primarchs.
Yes.
Because obviously Gilliman.
Yeah, he's been around for a while.
Yeah.
And then last question. Do you have one?
This one is by... it's not a question, but it's just kind of like a, hey, would you? Nova says, would you guys ever do a series that basically is too long, didn't read in chronological order of the major events of the universe? Kind of like a catch-up lore series for people who are coming back into the hobby, or new people who are interested in what's going on, what has happened, and isn't overwhelmed by the sheer volume and cost of the books.
That would be kind of a cool concept.
Yeah, so basically like a quick synopsis of the timeline of 40K.
Yeah. That would be really good for like you said, people who are returning to the hobby. Mm-hmm. Where like they come back and they're like, there's a Primarch now? Yeah. Primaris Marines? Right. What? And then we just explain, GW wanted money.
Yeah. I guess that kind of depends too, because like depending on each race, there's like key events for each race. Because if we try to put that all into one big thing, you could have like a sentence or two for each major event, but you won't have like an hour's worth of stuff because so much has happened.
Yeah, that's true. That would be a good series. We'll try.
Yeah, we'll see what we can do.
Those were the questions for today. If you guys have more questions for us, please comment down below. Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll talk tomorrow.
Yeah, this has been Coco de Leche.
Gersh 1.
And we are out.
Always used to put my freedom first in any situation.